You've sent in your security cam videos, and we've picked the best ones to showcase. Time for another episode of Wham Baam Securitycam. We'll start with this video captured by Techno Freak after a blizzard blanketed his neighborhood. He said the city chose to wait until most of the snow had fallen before they started removing it. He thinks that's why the driver of this snowplow must have been especially tired, which he thinks caused the destruction we're about to watch. His Tesla Model Y, which was parked in front of a white pickup, was also directly in the path of the reversing snowplow. After his Tesla had been crushed by the snowplow, the plow driver pulled forward before getting out to inspect the damage. Of course, Techno Freak's security cam wasn't the only camera that captured the carnage. His Tesla's Sentry Mode was watching too. Let's watch again from the car's perspective. Ouch, that's painful to watch. Thankfully, the Tesla wasn't pushed into the pickup behind it. Fixing the damage cost around $10,000, but Techno Freak told us it now looks brand new. His biggest inconvenience was having to drive a 2024 Audi A4 Quattro while his Tesla was being repaired. Talk about a downgrade. This isn't the only multi-angle security cam video involving a Tesla in this episode, and one coming up involves a much worse collision, so keep watching. Check out this crazy security cam video Ethan sent us. Unsurprisingly, Ethan said the driver of the out-of-control pickup was driving while intoxicated. His stepdad ran out of the house yelling, "I got you on camera, don't go anywhere."
Hey! I got you on camera, don't go anywhere!
The driver didn't listen to these directions and fled the scene, leaving behind a bunch of junk. Thankfully, the cops had no trouble tracking him down, and Ethan's stepdad even filmed his arrest. That's all Ethan told us about the incident, but hopefully justice was served and the drunk driver learned a valuable lesson. Here's another story of sweet instant justice. Dustin is a repeat submitter who owns a liquor store. On Big Game Sunday, one guest in his store was feeling anything but celebratory. Let's listen in and find out what set off the drama.
Not good. I'd like to hear that. Find insufficient funds.
I have money on all of these accounts. Why is it not working here?
We understand it can be embarrassing when your card is declined, but we also know that the right thing to do in that situation is leave the product behind and go home. For this guy, this inconvenience was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he decided to just take what he wanted instead.
Why are my cards declined here?
I don't know. It's not my.
I've got money in all of my accounts.
I don't know what he. Hey, whoa. You back up here.
When Dustin realized he was stealing the items, he chased after the thief to recover his merchandise. Sadly, YouTube's policies won't let us show you everything that happened, but we'll do our best to describe what's behind the blurring using Dustin's own words, with a few modifications. I invited him back inside, gently cradling his coat hood, and very calmly, with a slight smile on my face, got him to drop the beers. Then I gave him a friendly embrace and walked him to the front door and gently escorted him out. Of course, we did have to make a few changes to make YouTube happy, but you get the gist. Between expletives, the thief threatened to call the police and have Dustin charged with assault.
I'm calling the police for you assaulting me.
Unfazed, Dustin calmly explained what happened to a sheriff's deputy who responded after the thief made good on his threat. Dustin also showed him this footage, uncensored of course. Our brilliant male Karen even remained nearby until the deputy was able to serve up some instant justice to the attempted thief, not to Dustin. The guy was charged with petty theft and trespassing and is now barred from Dustin's store for 5 years, all over a few beers that he didn't even get to drink. Yikes! Dustin's previous submission featured more dumb criminals, so we'll put a link to that episode at the end of this one in case you missed it. Stay safe, Dustin. Zeus's security cam was recording when his neighbor's car died as he was pulling out of his driveway. You might think this would be no big deal, but watch what happened once the neighbor popped the hood and got the car running again. It looks like the car had been left in reverse, and when Zeus's neighbor got it started, it went for an unmanned joyride before smashing into, you guessed it, Zeus's parked Subaru. Zeus told us his neighbor accepted responsibility for the mistake, but sadly he wasn't insured. Since Zeus doesn't have uninsured motorist coverage, he had to pay a $500 deductible to get his Subaru fixed. So far, the repair bill has reached nearly $10,000. Let this story be a lesson to everyone watching. Put your car in park before you even pop the hood. This submitter's Honda CR-V was parked in his driveway when a stranger approached. Meanwhile, his friend waited in a car parked at the end of the driveway. After going back and talking to his friend, the guy returned before breaking into the Honda and somehow reprogramming it to start without the key. Our submitter told us he'd been keeping his key fobs in a shielded bag specifically to prevent a relay attack, but in this case, that didn't help. Eventually, the car thief backed our submitter's CR-V down the driveway, but our submitter noticed right away and called the police. They were able to locate the car and recover it, but the thieves had left it with $3,000 in damage. Our submitter is glad they didn't try stealing the Tesla Model S parked right next to the Honda. Then again, locating that car would have been trivial. Michael spotted suspicious people prowling his neighborhood, and sadly, they were able to gain access to his neighbor's pickup truck after he left it unlocked in his driveway. Their burglary adventure didn't last long before residents confronted the prowlers and chased them back to their getaway vehicle. Michael told us the incident was reported to the police, but he hasn't been informed of any further developments. We're impressed at his neighbors' collective awareness of their surroundings. It's a good reminder that you should always pay attention to what's going on around you, even when you're at home. Adam was hanging out with his 1-year-old son when a phone notification alerted him to movement on his patio. Check out what had triggered his security cam. A bobcat had decided to sit and rest for a while. Adam snuck up to the window to capture this footage with his phone. Wow, what a beautiful animal! At first, the bobcat didn't seem to be threatened by Adam, but eventually, it leapt away. Adam told us he's seen lots of wildlife in their backyard, but this bobcat sighting must have been pretty special. Matt noticed police arrive and start talking to his neighbors, so he reviewed his security cam footage to find out what prompted their visit. Check out what he found. A speeding vehicle lost control, colliding with the retaining wall in front of his neighbor's house. The driver is lucky they didn't hit that tree instead. Regardless, they fled the scene, and Matt pointed out it sounds like their car was seriously damaged based on the scraping sound it made while speeding off. They even left behind their license plate, which the police plan to use to locate the driver. Matt is another repeat submitter, and his last security cam video featured the cops arresting someone. We'll put a link to that episode at the end of this one. This footage from Nacho has us wondering if today was this delivery driver's first day on the job. After climbing the curb and hitting Nacho's trees, the van driver didn't take responsibility for what had happened. Nacho told us he contacted the driver's employer, but they ghosted him. Thankfully, the trees are still growing, albeit a bit crooked, almost a year later. We're glad the only thing damaged was the trees, and hopefully that driver learned to drive more carefully. Art Goddess told us the driver of this black pickup truck had just finished applying for a job at her workplace. When he backed into Art Goddess's motorcycle, he had no idea the whole incident had been captured by the business's security cams. He neglected to stick around, turning his mistake into a hit and run. Since Art Goddess had his job application, it was easy for the police to track him down after they watched this footage. She filed a claim with his insurance provider, and she's now waiting for the insurance company to examine the damage to her Can-Am Ryker. That just leaves us with one burning question. Did he get the job? One quiet night, two drivers passing Valentine's house decided to liven things up with a game of chicken. Watch closely. Valentine told us it looks like the pickup was on the wrong side of the road, but both drivers swerved at the last moment to avoid a head-on collision. Sadly, they still made contact, and Valentine told us both vehicles were totaled by the impact. Valentine's mother called 911, and first responders arrived 5 minutes later. Valentine wanted to encourage our viewers to slow down, and we'll add that you should always stay on your side of the road. As promised, here comes another incident involving multiple angles and a Tesla. We'll start with the security cam footage Trevor sent us, and keep an eye on the red car in the center turn lane. It seems like the driver wasn't paying attention and had to swerve to avoid rear-ending an SUV waiting to turn. Sadly, Trevor's Tesla Model Y was occupying the lane the driver swerved into, and it paid the price for his recklessness. Let's watch that again, this time from the Tesla cam view. Trevor told us the driver had been distracted by his phone when the collision happened. First responders arrived quickly, and thankfully nobody was seriously injured. Trevor said the other driver was uninsured, but his own insurance provider stepped in and took care of everything. He'd only owned his Model Y for 6 months before it was totaled in this collision, but he was able to replace it with a brand new one. Don't forget to watch this episode featuring more dumb criminals at Dustin's liquor store. Or check out this episode featuring Matt's previous submission when the cops arrested someone right in front of his security cam. And consider subscribing so you'll get our next episode in your feed.
Wham Bam, we got a Patreon, man. Please support the show.